probably Addison Ruadro, but let's take a quick look. 250cc Asia is underway.
A great jump out of the gate and into the left-hander. You could throw a blanket over these riders here. We'll try to pick up, oh, a rider, two riders have gone down just out of the left-hand side of our eyesight there, and another rider has just landed on a tough block, so we have got so much action.
That's one of our favorites. That's Addison Ruadro, the rider who topped free practice. He's already down heading into the first lap, as is one of our Indian riders, Jirendra Sangwe for SG Speed Racers.
And a beautiful block pass up the inside there. Now let's have a look at the replay. If you look in the right-hand side of your screen, two riders come together and off the side of the track. Oh, and collected, I believe, not only one of the light and speaker systems there, but potentially we've had a red flag come out. Now, just to explain what the red flag means, our race has come to a halt for the moment. The riders will go back now to the starting gate, and because it has happened in the first lap, we will have a restart and the complete total amount of this race.
That was absolutely chaotic, and the riders that have been taken out of this one, Jirendra Sangwe from SG Speed Racers and Addison Ruadro at the first corner. What went wrong there, Lee? It seems like they were both fighting for the
two
safety
riders
of
come
tarmac.
together, and when handlebars clip each other and it sends you in the wrong direction, our rider on the right-hand side, watch here, the left off and into the tough blocks. Wow, that was a mammoth crash there. We had... we're lucky the track marshal had a helmet on there.
Exactly. In situations like this, CS, there's hardly anything you can do, right?
Yeah, the start is so important, and everybody's trying to wrestle to be the whole shot. And this was going to happen, and it happened now at this race. It's unfortunate, but I'm happy to see that we can restart, and everybody's going to be healthy.
And the good thing, I must say, our number 112, Addison Ruadro from Thailand on the BB Racing machine, his teammate, Jordi Tixia, just won the last race. I thought he was going to be out. That was a huge crash. He has managed to line himself back up on the starting gate one more time.
And now it's going to be a level pecking field for all the riders. As far as I can see, I don't think Jirendra Sangwe is going to be making the restart, because I can't quite see his bike ready up there. But we should get you confirmation on that. But what this means is all the riders have one more chance to get out there and get all the wrongs right, because there must be so many riders. In fact, some of the big rock racing riders were down there in P5, P6. They didn't quite have the best of starts. This gives them some of the greatest chances possible to go out there and correct their mistakes. And they now know how the other riders actually behave at the start as well, Lee.
Well, that's correct. There's two sides to the coin, isn't there? You have to think the riders that got the whole shot, or they were first or second, they were thinking, yes, let's go. Then the riders that are at the back of the pack, they're like, no, I don't want to do that. So they've had to go and line themselves up again and hope to get themselves a good start. As we can see here from grid number 4, right the way through to just the right of what we call the dog box, the middle of the starting grid, that seems to be the favoured position to be able to start here.
Before the start of any race, CS, the heartbeat, how do you calm it down for all these kids?
Well, the start is so important. You focus on being able to get out the gates as quick as possible and do it efficiently to be out in front. So it's very important to be calm and collected to be able to execute the start.
Just waiting for all the riders to get going very quickly for the second start for the 250cc Asia category. We already had one chaotic and crazy one, but a couple of riders got down. But I get a feeling we're good to go very, very shortly.
And a little bit of trying to straighten handlebars up there from Addison, number 112. But I wanted to make comment where before the drop of the gate happens, the action that we saw on the first lap of this 250cc India and Asia Cup was just like double the action that we saw from the 450s. It was quite amazing. We are in the starter's hands now. 5-second board up, it has spun sideways. Anticipation time, and the gate is down.
Off we go then for the 250cc Asia class. It seems to be a great getaway right there from Shlok Khotpade. An Indian rider is leading this category, but Ben Prasad Holgren from Moites Racing is right on his back as we head towards the first tricky section of the hairpins. It seems to be Shlok Khotpade from Rise Motorsports leading.
And number 31 there, Ben Prasad Holgren, is back there in second place, and he is trying to make his way up. What a beautiful step on, step off, and he will make his way into the lead, but it's not over yet. I don't think anyone wants to hand over the lead that easily.
Ben Prasad Holgren then taking the lead away from an Indian rider in Shlok Vikram Ghorpade. He took a brilliant move up the hairpin and said, buddy, I'm not going to stay behind you for too long. And with that, Mohit is Racing are in the lead with their rider. And look at the confidence. Ben Holgren already establishing quite a gap. The two-time Thai Supercross champion is in the lead and on the flow.
Well, Mohides will certainly be hoping to try to make up some points after not scoring as many as they would have liked in the 450cc first of the international races. But our race leader is starting to check out. What a massive end-for-end crash there, but no problem whatsoever. Dusts himself off.
That seems to be Shlok Ghorpade. I'm sorry to cut in there, but that is Shlok Ghorpade, the rider who was leading this race at the end of the first lap.
That seat is half hanging off in the rear, the back end of that motorcycle. It is a time bomb. It's not going to last very long.
Absolute heartbreak for Shlok. Here's a look at Ben Prasad Holgren at the final corner, and then here comes Shlok already off the bike.
Okay, so for that to happen in a position like that is what we call whiskey throttle. He has accidentally given that a little bit too much power, and that bike has just rocketed out from underneath him.
And that's an interesting story to track, because so many of the Indian riders, when they were making the jumps, were probably not giving enough throttle yesterday in the practice sessions. Now that has got Shlok out. A big blow for the young Indian rider, but that means Rugved Bargoje from SG Speed Racers has been promoted up into P2. We have two Indian riders out there in the top 5, but Addison Rodero, this guy was on his face just a few minutes ago, and now he's in P3.
That was a rider just on screen. It was my favorite watching around yesterday, number 71, Thanarat Panjan, and he has come from outside of the top 6, and he has made his way into 3rd place now. On screen at the moment, riding for Big Rock Motorsports on his Kawasaki, the green machine. Watch this kid, he knows how to ride.
And already, CS, he is on the tail of Addison Rodero. This is going to be some battle.
Hey, the Thais have a really good racing atmosphere back home, and they're used to this kind of pressure. So I expect him to excel in this manner, so I hope he does.
A Thai top 3 at this moment in time in the 250cc Asia category, but we are soon going to see more care. By the way, I have to cut in there, because Rugved Bargoje has dropped down. The young Indian rider for SG Speed Racers was all the way up in P2 just a few minutes ago, but from what I see, he's dropped all the way back down to P5 according to our timing screens. This is huge, because Rugved, a former national champion 2 times here in the Indian racing circuit, he was doing such an incredible job competing against all the Thai riders, but something has clearly gone down with him.
The pressure is on as we watch the battle unfold here from 2nd and 3rd place, and continuing on screen at the moment, number 71, Thanarat Panjan, is trying to do what he does best. Now, the biggest issue for him at the moment is he is jumping some amazing jumps on this track that nobody else is doing. And while he is right behind Addison Rodreo, he is unable to do these jumps. So we need to see him with a little bit of clear air.
Absolutely, and on Addison Rodero, he's on literally his 2nd life. In the first race that we had, the first restart, the man was flat on his face. And immediately after that, just in a couple of seconds time, he was able to recuperate himself, get back in, calm his heart rate down, and get back on the track for the gates. Because in the 2nd restart, he did make the mistake that he did for the first one. He got a good hold shot, and with that, he's in 2nd. Imagine being clean ball on the first ball that you face, and then the umpire says, wait a minute, no ball, you get a chance to play again, and you end up scoring a century. That's what's happening with Addison Rodero right now. This guy is going on some mission right now.
Going to the left, going to the right, doing everything he can to try to get up into that 2nd spot. Now, of course, the 250cc Asia Moto 1, we are halfway through, because the total time for this race is 8 minutes plus 2 laps. We're currently 4 minutes and 44 seconds into this Moto 1 for these riders, and it continues to be the same. However, there is only a 3.1 second gap now from Ben Prasad Holgren in the lead back to our 2nd place rider. It is closing in.
And it's time for a quick update on the Indian riders as well, because we have Sarthak Chavan from Mohit Racing in P4 and Rugved Bargoje, the former national champion, currently in P5. And this is quite an occasion. We'll come back to that in a second as we see a couple of riders getting lapped in all the way through.
2.3 seconds now, the gap between 1st and 2nd place. So that gap is continuing to close down. And in effect, very soon we will see a battle for 1st, 2nd and 3rd place. This is exciting.
all the three Thai riders relishing the occasion. They've raced at big stadiums like this before. They know exactly what it's like. But the Indian riders, this is what the series is all about. This is what this entire spectacle is all about. And currently, they've never raced at a circuit quite like this, with a number of people like this watching them as well. Surely the occasion must get a little bit to them, right, CS? What is it like for all these young kids who literally have never been at a stadium quite like this before?
They're actually quite learning while they're racing, and that's really rare in India for us. So I'm sure they're going to be able to take home a lot from all of these races, for sure.
So currently we have Mohiti's racing team leading with Van Prezet Holgren back there in the second place. BB Racing franchise with Atherson Rodero and Thanarat Penjan riding for Big Rock Motorsports, holding out our top three. But right now we have a gap of 2.5 seconds between first and second, and you can throw a blanket over second to third place as the battle continues.
There's a yellow flag on the track. I think we have a rider down somewhere. We shall get you the visuals for that very, very quickly. But as it stands, the yellow flags are waving in the first sector of the circuit. A quick look at the timing screens will tell us more about it. Who has gone down? I don't think we can tell you at this moment in time, but what this does do is make sure that Thanarat Penjan has some breathing space ahead of Atherson Ruadero. Finally, the Big Rock Motorsport rider is up into P2, which means more points for the entire team, which would probably mean them leading the entire team's championship. But there is a yellow flag on the track as we have just 1 minute left to go.
Oh, and almost collecting a downed rider as he was trying to pick himself up and try to make it.
That's our leader! That's our leader!
Wow.
Ben Holgren from the lead has gone down with the yellow flags on. For Mohiti's Racing, this is
the front
absolute
brake. Cannot
chaos.
see his front brake is locked on there. He can't ride. He's trying everything he can, but that front wheel won't spin through no fault of his own. If we have a look nice and closely, can we see what it's done? It was purely the front brake lever was jammed on. I thought he might have had something caught in the front wheel, perhaps was stopping him from moving.
He's dropped it. Mohiti's Racing, unfortunately, losing the lead. Here's the replay of exactly what happened right there. Will we be able to see the crash? Oh my word, that's Thanarat Penjan from P3 running over one of the sponsorship barriers, and then here's our leader, Ben Holgren, clipping the rear wheel at the back, and off he goes.
Well, that first crash was almost like Mario Kart throwing banana peels down on the ground. That was the crash that we saw there was through no fault of their own.
And at this moment in time, it's a Big Rock Motorsport rider, Thanarat Penjan, the man who literally clipped a sponsorship barricade a second ago, is in the lead. It's one of your boys, CS. What is he like as a rider? How is he doing this?
Hey, he's so smooth, just with his style. You can tell that he knows what he's doing, and he knows what that skill level is, and he doesn't take that risk to put him out there to hurt himself. So it's commendable to be able to exercise that on a Supercross track in this manner.
Exceptionally good riding here from our race leader, Thanarat Penjan, and for me, like I've said to you many times over the last 2 days, Samil, he is my favourite. I've been watching him in a league of his own, and he makes it look good. If you see here nice and closely, he rides with that left pointer finger on his clutch at all times, and it's such a rare thing. You see that from some of the best riders in the world, the Jet Lawrences of the world. It is almost unheard of, and he has so much finesse on the bike. The last lap board has come out. 1 lap to go for Thanarat Penjan on board the Big Rock Motorsports Kawasaki.
And in the yellow flag, he was really able to capitalize on his position as well. The BB Racing rider of Atherson Ruadero, who, by the way, was falling flat on his face in the first restart. He's gone down by 1.8 seconds and is now firmly in second place. But behind them is an incredible story. An Indian rider is in P3 for Mohiti's Racing. Sarthak Chavan, the 17-year-old, is going to be in P3, but as we come across the line, it is going to be Thanarat Penjan rounding off the final corner. He's chilling. He's going to have a fun time. Thanarat Penjan, checkered flag. He's won for Big Rock Motorsport in the 250cc Asia category. He is the second winner of this series, and with that, Big Rock Motorsport have a win in their bag. Look at this guy. CS Santosh in our commentary box. He's laughing. He's having the time of his life.
Hey, we want to spread the culture of racing and riding motorcycles in India, and all of this is going to propel that, and people are going to see why we love what we do.
What a win for Big Rock Motorsport. They were second in the 450cc international category, and with Tanarat Benjan's incredible ride, he has made sure that they have won a big race. But another huge story, Lee. Atherton Ruadero. I cannot imagine someone crashing, just getting themselves composed in a couple of minutes and then saying, right, I've got to go and fight for a race, and finishing second immediately afterwards. That takes some resilience from someone.
What an incredible comeback, just to line up and get back out onto the start line, but to get second place and to get fantastic points for his franchise BB Racing.
And that's
Here
it.
is a replay of our crash. Wow, the drama unfolded. It was action aplenty. Here is that loop out off the back as a result of the whiskey throttle, and we are just happy that he is okay.
And then, of course, we saw Tanarat Benjan clipping through one of the sponsorship barricades. But even then, he passed Atherton Ruadero to take the win. And this was our leader, Ben Prasid Holgren, crashing out. In this race, we had the leader crashing out twice. But this one was a huge one. And that eventually cleared the door for Tanarat to win his first race in the championship.
Tanarat Benjan, I like this guy. I like his charisma. I like his style. I like the way that he salutes the crowd. And there we see him, the helmet off. That's what it's all about. We get to see, look at him. He is amped. He is pumped.
What a win for Big Rock Motorsport and Tanarat Benjan.